Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, citizens of the internet. This is Golden.Cedi, and here with you, offering some information about a project that you might have recently heard of called Polkastarter, right? And I'm just going to do a quick video, just looking over a little bit of what they've offered the community in the form of a presentation. Just for starters, I'm not a financial advisor. I do not work for Polkastarter or Polkastarter. I just felt like looking through the presentation with the public. Please excuse any mistakes, errors, or hiccups I might make explaining, reading, or so on and so forth. Right. This is just to present this to the community. The link for the actual PowerPoint will be down below in the description, so you can look at it with more detail for yourself. I've been interested in many crypto projects, and Polkadot has been one of them. So I, thought it might be a good idea for other people to check it out. That said, please subscribe if you're seeing any video from me for the first time. I don't post often. I hope that I can soon. Subscribe, click the notification bell for any time I post videos, like, and offer some comments. And with that, hopefully it won't be too long. I'm just going to skip through this a bit. So this is Polkastarter, right? So what is Polkastarter, or why Polkastarter rather? Polkastarter initially is supposed to be on the Polkadot blockchain, but it's starting off actually this past Tuesday. They launched on the DeFi liquidity pool space Uniswap, right? So the adoption of DeFi, as they describe solutions, has finally arrived with hugely successful projects like Uniswap Compound, bringing billions of trading volume to the cryptocurrency market while taking an increase in market share from decentralized exchanges. This success comes with a number of great challenges, especially in terms of scalability, the Ethereum network fees skyrocketing, and slow platform performance, which leaves end users feeling frustrated. This is so true. Users are demanding cheap transactions, secure ultra-fast swaps, user-friendly design, and the possibility to buy and move assets between blockchains. It's a big deal. The future of decentralized finance won't be tied to one chain, and interoperability is already becoming the must-have feature of the DeFi future. This is very true, and I have to mention one project really quickly. Binance Smart Chain, which now allows you to move many different kinds of assets, Ethereum assets, Polkadot assets, other assets, even like Cardano. You can put onto their chain, and you can swap in the way that you can swap on Uniswap, and it's not limited to just ERC20 tokens, right? And so this is amazing, and this is on our heels and with cheap fees. So just talking about the volume of DeFi in general, the first half of 2020 saw a $5.1 billion number in volume, 5x from what it was 6 months before in 2019. Aggregate trading volume on decentralized exchanges reached 11 billion in August, up from 4.5 billion in July, as the intense enthusiasm for DeFi applications continues to spread. Right, tightening regulations for centralized platforms and the hype surrounding DeFi are pushing DEX trading activities to new heights. Now, the thing is, this is something that's been known. If you know, Binance, for instance, CZ, has been thinking about creating a decentralized platform for a long time. When Uniswap first came out, the first version, it was practically unused, right? But the potential behind it was huge. Another exchange I could think of that folks were using big time before Uniswap was IDEX, which allowed people to swap all kinds of ERC20 tokens, but it was partly regulated, and it wasn't automated market maker that was creating the prices. They had their own sort of decentralized order book, right? The same can be said about Ether Delta, and I know they had other sort of ports of that decentralized exchange, right? So introducing Polkastarter. Polkastarter is a permissionless DEX built for cross-chain token pools and auctions, enabling projects to raise capital on a decentralized and interoperable environment based on Polkadot. With Polkastarter, decentralized projects will be able to raise and exchange capital cheap and fast. So this is very different. Raising capital, that's something that you currently can't do on Uniswap. And cheap and fast, because we all know about the high fees. Users will be able to participate in a secure and compliant environment and use assets and to use assets that go way beyond the current ERC20 standard. The future is decentralized. The future is interoperable. The future is Polkastarter. Of course, they have to do a little bit of advertisement. So I will mention these 3 points. And there's a lot of detail in the presentation. I won't go into it. Again, I'll leave the description in the link below, the description area below. But the 3 use cases are very interesting. They mentioned fundraising, auctions, and over-the-counter deals, right? And one issue with fundraising is if you want to offer a fixed price, and they talk about this in the presentation, but if you want to offer a fixed price where you can do swaps, it's kind of hard to do with an automated market maker, because of course it's based on the market. So if the price is $5 now and it increases to 15 because of demand, or it drops to $2 because of a lack of demand, that's all automated, right? So what does it mean to have the ability to have fixed prices on an exchange like Uniswap, where the price isn't moving on the basis of the market? What does it mean to do that privately, right? Such that only certain addresses are whitelisted so that they can actually do the exchange, right? And that's where you have the sort of, I guess, closed over-the-counter deals. What does it mean to have certain people have entry to certain spaces to hold deals? So having password protected spaces on the blockchain. And it's pretty interesting. So some of the main features that they talk about are cross-chain swaps, of course, having different assets from different cryptospheres. Fixed and dynamic swaps, as I described before. Fixed swaps based on some organization who wanted to have a token sale at a certain price. Anti-scam features, so setting up permissions to make sure that funds aren't stolen, and you can verify that a project is legitimate. KYC, so again, let's say hypothetically schools or some sort of nonprofit wants to participate on their end. You can verify that they are a legitimate business and a legitimate company, and on their end, they can do the same for you, right? Governance, of course, we all know that a lot of tokens to make whatever functionality they have work, like setting fees or changing the supply of a certain asset. You need governance to make that happen. And permissionless listing, right? So no third party or intermediary when you're doing some sort of listing. I'll skip over this because they compare Polkastarter to 3 other projects. They give you a sense of what they're expecting to happen over the next year. So initially they're starting on the Ethereum blockchain as a beta, right? And some of the basic things they'll offer are the permissionless listing, fixed token swaps, private pools, anti-scam features, and high slippage alerts, which I think is pretty interesting, so that you don't end up paying unnecessary fees. And by the start of 2021, they'll move these features over to the Polkadot space, allowing cross-chain swaps, the whitelisting, and the KYC integration. Governance coming in the second quarter, and I guess a further development of the platform in quarter 3 and quarter 4, right? So they have a detailed roadmap where they go into the technicals of how they'll make things happen in the next 2 years, right? So on the first phase, they mentioned having a full working Ethereum-based product, a minimum viable product, and for the beginning of 2021 is allowing folks to move from not only the Ethereum space, but the Ethereum space to the Polkadot space for the cross-chain activity, and bridging assets as like the ones we typically use, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USD with the parachains and the relay chains, right? So again, more information on the phases, and they go deeper into what it means for you to use some of the features, right? So one of the main features that they talk about are the fixed swap pools. So I'll read this really briefly. From our home page, users can explore and participate in several token pools. These will be fixed swap pools in which two or more parties exchange fixed amounts of tokens for a determined price, right? That's amazing, right? No person in between, and you're setting fixed prices for projects. That's just amazing. It could be public, it could be private, it could be whitelisted, so certain people can do it. All right, and they mentioned at the end we're starting with fixed swap pools because they solve one of the biggest problems in automated decentralized exchanges like Uniswap. While these exchanges are great for day-to-day spot trading, they don't work that well for token sales, right? So this is to solve the token sales issues. And this is something that folks don't think about. But in the future, when regulation is going to be a lot, and it'll be difficult for, a mom and pop person, let's say I want to start a t-shirt business on the blockchain, the regulation and red tape might make it hard for me to get the ball rolling, and something like this might make a difference. Liquidity mining to incentivize participation in the daily token pools. We are launching a liquidity mining program concurrent with the MVP launch on the Ethereum later this on Ethereum later this year. In the manner of great DeFi projects like Synthetics and Balancer, this program will distribute a fixed amount of POLS token daily. And that's started already. It started about, I think, 2 days ago. So when I checked today, the price was about 60 cents, 61 to 62 cents. About 2 days ago, it was 20 cents. So it's 3x in the past 2 days. And investors who got in the seed sale, were able to purchase POLS token for guess what? 1 cent, 1 penny, right? And the next phase of it was for 2 cents, and I'm not sure what it is after that, but they're going to offer staking as well. So liquidity mining and staking. So for high demand pools, access can be limited to the top liquidity and network contributors. Password protection and whitelisting are potential features that can provide additional limits. However, to best align the interests of the entire Polkastarter community, the POLS token can be used as a coordinating mechanism. For instance, if community members want access to certain token pools, they must stake POLS token, right? So it's kind of a key, I guess, to play in the system. Other features include the private polls and whitelisting, as I described before, permissionless listing. Let me read that. That seems a little interesting. So, true decentralization only works if we build a permissionless environment. Though certain Polkastarter features may be enhanced for POLS token holders, anyone will be able to use the protocol in order to create and launch fixed swap token pools. Countermeasures to prevent bot-based and malicious pools will also be integrated. That speaks to their effort to do the anti-scam stuff, which I think is going to be important. Again, that POLS token is going to be used for governance, staking, and liquidity mining. So, folks can make a little bit of money off of it. The pool staking rewards, they sort of break it down here. So, token pools on Polkastarter will incur a fixed fee paid by the pool creator. If a pool creator receives 1,000 DOT worth of a token and the fee is fixed at 1%, 10 DOT will be deducted from his purchase or her purchase and added to the staking reward pool. Staking rewards will also be distributed in 24-hour cycles. If a user holds 2% of the total stake POLS during the 24-hour cycles, that user will get the equivalent of 2% of all staking rewards for that same period, right? So some of the technicals. Some folks will have access to the pools, and pool creators can activate polls, staking to limit pool access exclusively to pool holders. So, regulating who is using what pools will be a feature. Governance, like I mentioned, liquidity mining, like we spoke about before, And here they go into the structure. So I'm not going to dive into these details, but one interesting thing here was that they're going to have 100 million polls. That's a really small number, right? Like I said, right now, the project is at about 60 cents. Here they mention it. So 1 cent for the seed sale, private sale was 2 cents, 5 cents for Uniswap listing, which that skyrocketed like right away. And now is the time to get in. Is what I'm telling myself, because this is not financial advice. And they go into more of the allocation details, which I will not dive into. But here are the founders of the project: Daniel Stockhouse, he's a co-founder, and Tiago Martins. And they have their advisors, and that's about it. So if you want to look deeper into this, and if you have questions, of course you can join their Telegram. I don't have it listed here, but again, I'll put the link to the presentation and to their Telegram page in case you want to ask questions. So that's a little run through of this. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day and peace.